Great.
okay.
Let's do it again. Yeah, do it
This
again, Ed.
okay. Welcome to D's Practice Pod. This is a podcast about drums, drummers, drumming, and other sort of musical paraphernalia. Today we have a band named Nome Sane. And that's probably about where it's going to go today. So that's a great thing. I know these fellas only through their drummer, who is Matt Miller, son of the late great Al Miller, my teacher of many, many years. And Matt and I have been friends since then. I want to say 1983.
Sure. And you helped me move. Not that this is part, necessary to include, but you helped me move. This was in, this would be '89. You helped me move from
Brooklyn?
from Merrick to Brooklyn. Is that right? Merrick to Long Island to College Point.
Yes.
I think that's where it was. Yeah.
Right. Or was it the opposite?
Oh, you know what? It's the opposite.
Because you were with, you were living with a band.
That's right. That's right. Major Domo.
Major Domo. Right.
So you helped me move from College Point, where
Right.
I was living, about a block and a half from Teddy,
Yep.
and into Merrick with my band.
And you were driving this Aqua Honda Civic.
Oh my God.
I remember that
Sure.
car. How about Gallagher's 2000?
What is that?
That was a strip club right across the street from my house.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
College Point.
Well, here on Long Island, we have a deficit of those.
I used to take clients over there to have meetings.
Nice.
Like, enjoy the pretzels.
Oh, that's... All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let's get down to business here. Introduce
What's up,
yourselves,
Andrew?
please, and identify your roles in the band. Let's just pretend this is an all-state headhunting meeting. We'll go from my top to your to there. Say, Teddy Cumble. Sir,
Yes.
what do you do here?
I'm the leader and guitar player in the band. Yes, I'm Das, the Führer of the band, and basically I tell these guys what to play. Mostly, I just yell at them a lot, and they cry afterwards.
I cry. Bob just starts laughing.
Bob's already crying. Look at that.
Oh.
Okay.
And I started this band in 1988 with Matt, actually, and Andy Middleton, who's since moved to Austria as a saxophone player, and Dennis Marks, and we played for a couple of years, and then the band evolved and changed over the years. Included a bunch of people, and we made a couple of records, and then it kind of disbanded in 1996. I guess got too busy to do things for fun, and then in 2019, Matt needed help setting up his home studio, so I went over and got it all set up for him, and then we needed something to do, so we started playing together, and
Sure.
that was the rebirth of Nome Sane.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sir Naxanox should introduce himself.
Yes, sir. Please do.
My name's Ben Knox. I'm from outer space. I'm the bass, I play the long strings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, he's our vocalist in the band and our dancer.
Yes.
Okay. So
Basically, he's-
nanny nanny boo boo to you there, Matt. If you wanted to do the dancing.
That's true.
Matt's pretty good at dancing.
I'm an
He is.
excellent dancist.
Yeah, dances. Yes.
That's good. That fall doesn't at all fall in line with what drummers normally do, because most of us don't dance because we're usually sitting at that point.
Right.
Matt dances all the time.
Yes, yes. And of course, Matt being the drummer, please introduce yourself, sir, and tell of any other roles that you have in the band, as well as being the drummer / percussionist.
Drummist.
Drummist.
That's the one.
Well,
Druminator.
what can I say? After all these years, to be back in this band is a thrill, and it's completely different. These are both close friends of mine. So when we get together, it's certainly very serious, but it's a ball.
That's good.
I love these guys. I couldn't even begin to tell you, and the level of musicianship is always inspiring.
Which is very evident from the first pass of listening that I did.
I'm
Yes,
glad
that's
you like it.
fantastic stuff. Yes.
Thank you, Andrew.
Of course, you
Yeah.
guys have stepped all over my second question. When and where did you all meet? Damn it.
Matt and I met in 1981, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You were playing in an all-county jazz band with Jill Suttonberg, and told me she was my, whatever, my 10th grade girlfriend. And and she's become a good friend, and she was friends with Matt, and they were in all-county band together, all-county jazz band. And she says to me as we're driving over there, she's like, "You got to meet Matt Miller. You guys are going to be best friends." I was like, "Get the hell out of here. I'm not going to be best friends with your friends. What are you talking about? You're crazy." Met the guy, immediately best friends.
I mean, I remember that night. That night, I remember the feeling. I was like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That was
It's
a
funny how
Queens
these
college.
things happen, you know?
It is. She called it. She was like a friend. She was a BFF matchmaker.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That was
It was like at Nassau Community College or something.
no, it was at the Tillis Center.
Yeah,
Right?
wow.
Tillis
Okay.
Center. That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah. I lived in Port Jeff, so I couldn't be in all county jazz band with Matt. I was in the Suffolk County version of it.
Yeah. Scamia.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I teach the occasional Suffolkian.
Yes.
Yes.
Or Alabama, as I like to call it.
Ah.
Having
Yeah.
grown up there, I know quite a bit about Alabama.
Do you now?
Alabama North, yeah.
Yeah, they do have an inordinate number of pickup trucks with flags of
Hey, man.
people we won't mention.
Or just Confederate flags.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm telling you, man. It's
Yeah.
all, it's all right. It's part of being in America.
That's right. Yeah. There is no A in America, is there?
There is...
Oh.
Yeah, you can't smell...
Oh, there is. It's at
You
the
can't,
end.
you can't smell America without I.
That's it.
You can't smell it. Anyway, so you got questions for us or what? What's
Yes,
going on
of
here?
course.
What are we
Well,
doing
when,
here?
When did this guy in the corner get in the band? We didn't mention him yet.
Oh yeah. You mean Bob Stander? Who's Bob Stander?
I don't know.
He likes to make up names for himself. Bob is actually, he's the secret weapon of the band to me. And, I'm kind of like a known entity, like what you see is what you get. But Bob is always full of mystery, and you just never know what he's going to do.
Right.
Also, he's an amazing producer, mixer, and guitar player. And he really only gets to show off one small part of his talent in this band, which is his bass playing and his amazing singing and dancing. That's 3 parts of his
Okay.
his breadth of talent.
Right.
Nobody dances like Bob does. Let me tell you something. I've been around Alabama, Scamia, and all that stuff. I've seen people dancing, and nobody does it like Bob.
Okay.
And Bob and I met 10 years ago, about something like that, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
He came to my gig, and he walked up to me after the gig, and he goes, "I want to play with you!" Like with his hands waving in the air like that. And he scared me a little bit.
Yes, one might take that a little with precaution.
I was like, oh boy, all right. And then we went to the diner and became friends.
Nice. So, like, then when you were hanging out with him and Matt came over, did you put him in the closet, or when did Matt meet him?
When did I meet you, Bob? Wow, that's a great question, Ben. Bob, when did we first?
That's why I
That
got
is
the
a good
podcast. That's right.
That is a good question.
It must have been through Teddy, no?
I think so first, maybe. And then we ended up playing together in other things.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it was probably through Teddy.
I love doing that in interviews.
Yes, it's
He's a good sleeper.
it helps move things along. It sure does. All right. So,
We don't remember.
why don't we go with? We have a few boilerplate questions here, obviously.
All right.
Let's go down to, let's say, influences. One of which is pretty obvious. But go right ahead, Teddy. Influences.
I gotta leave that to Bob because I have too many to list.
Okay.
I kind of do too, but well, you know, I grew up in the '60s, so you know, all the classic bands I grew up with. I actually started out listening to '50s music at my grandmother's house,
Okay.
and then gravitated towards, you know, all the psychedelic stuff going on. Cream. Well, I was always a big Beatle fan. And then I guess when I was about 14, I discovered jazz and Frank Zappa, and that was kind of the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of listened to all of it, everything I could get my hands on. Started out with I think Pharoah Sanders and McCoy Tyner and led to Coltrane and everything else, and I just bought everything. And then all of the ECM records, Terry Ripko. So I kind of steered away from what everybody else was kind of listening to at my age, you know, 14, 15, 16.
Right. Right.
Bob and I
then-
have a lot of crossover with spacey ambient guitar ECM stuff and
Right.
Zappa stuff.
Right.
Where we disagree is Cream. I think Cream sucks. But yeah, we're both Zappa heads. But we grew up like a little bit. I guess you're a bit older than me, Bob. Like
Yeah.
at least 25 years older, right?
It's 25, 30 years.
So I think your first Zappa record is probably different than mine.
Yeah.
I think mine was Shake Your Booty.
Yeah, I was actually at those shows, so
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I too young to have had the pleasure, but I have seen Dweezil's show.
Yeah.
And he has quite the myriad of people playing for him.
Bob
It's
played
just-
with Dweezil.
Yeah, at the
Oh, yeah?
Huntington. Yeah, well, our friend Adam Minkoff sings and plays guitar with Dweezil,
Wow.
and he invited Bob on stage to jam at the Huntington show. Like, when was that? Oh, right, like March 12th,
Yeah,
2020.
it was, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I have a quick, just because I want it to be about the band, but you know, Zappa is such a you know, largely looming figure. I went and saw Dweezil at a number of years ago at the Westbury Music Fair, and you know that's in the round. So you know, if you're playing on stage, obviously you're seeing a bunch of people go round and round, and he's noticing this kid. He's about 16 years old, playing air guitar, but his hands were where they should have been to be playing the notes that they were playing, and so he mentions it. He calls out to the kid and says, "Do you play guitar?" He says, "Yes." He says, "For how long?" He says, "About 6 years." He says, "You any good?" Of course, the loaded question. He says, "Yeah, I'm all right." He says, "Do you think you can handle a blues tune in C?" And he goes, "Sure." He says, "I'm going to have someone come and get you." And they brought him on stage, and he played. The kid ripped it up. It was fantastic, you know. But how many artists do that? You know, it's very, very rare. But
I saw Gary Clark Jr. do that. Who else did that? I mean, Taz sat in with everybody when he was like 8. Was it Taz? Maybe it was. You know that kid, Brendan Niederauer?
huh?
And
Huh? Say what? What'd you say, Bob?
I said it could have been him.
Yeah, it could have been.
I almost thought I heard eep, op, or for half a second there.
Oh, was I
don't know.
cutting out?
No,
Was
you, what
No,
you
it
heard-
probably is in the inside of my head. Anyway, Matt,
Yes, sir.
influences, sir.
Well, it's funny you're talking about, Bob was talking about the 50s and 60s. Because of, I guess, my dad, I missed a lot of, like, I never heard Cream, and I never listened to Southern rock. It was, when I was a kid, it was always, what I heard at my house, which was, Buddy Rich and Louis Bellson, big band stuff. And for whatever strange reason, among all that jazz that I was really kind of fixated on, I loved the Beatles. I don't know, I guess because of my sisters. So Beatles was in the house. For some reason, Jethro Tull. Led Zeppelin. Think of the main ones, and then the Who when I was in like junior high school. But it was mostly jazz, like clean jazz, like Buddy Rich, clean, technical sounding music.
Yeah.
As far as the greasy,
Straight up big band stuff. Yeah.
right, and not to diminish my father's taste, but he didn't listen to any of the greasy, bebop. He didn't like Art Blakey. He didn't, Max Roach was just a name that I knew of.
Right. No avant-garde stuff. No.
Yeah, it took me into my 20s before I learned to appreciate that. So it was always very clean jazz, and with smatterings of certain rock and roll bands like Led Zeppelin, The Who, Jethro Tull. And then I grew up in the 20s, and then I met Teddy, and who exposed me to the new music. In my mind, it was like, wow, I didn't get it. Prince, when I first heard Prince, I was like, I don't get it. And actually, Teddy, I'll make this quick. I was in my mid-20s, and he told me to listen to the record with the Sign, with Sexy MF. And,
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, yeah, that's cool. And I'll never forget his words. He said to me, you don't get it, do you? You don't get it. And I don't know why that affected me, but I guess I had the urge to maybe dig in a little deeper because I trusted him,
Right.
Teddy. And all of a sudden I got it. And I was like, wow, this is deep. I mean,
Yeah.
the composition of the record, just the shape of the record, I started getting it. And that was sort of the beginning of me becoming hip, for lack of a better word,
He's on my Mount Rushmore too.
Unbelievable.
I saw him play on the musicology tour. I saw him play Madison Square Garden. That's when he was with John Blackwell.
Mm-hmm.
He played for an hour and a half with the band, gave the band a break, sat down on a stool with an acoustic guitar, did a 20-25 minute little break, and then brought the band back in. The album that really pulled me in to him was Sign of the Times. I had Purple Rain. That was my high school time. Came out in like 84, 85. Listened to that. I graduated in 86, so the album actually came out in 86, 87, and it was a double album, and there was so much there, and it was such a departure from what he had already done. I just thought he was this pop guy. I had no idea that he ran that deep.
Mm-hmm.
And then, now I have quite the extensive collection of his stuff.
It's great.
All of the people that I love are all dying. It's just crazy. Chris Cornell. Gone.
We're still alive.
Yes. Yeah, well,
Hey, Matt, I hope I didn't hurt your
maybe
feelings
you don't
when
want
I
to
said
know
that.
how much I like you guys then.
No, you didn't, Teddy, because first of all, I say this often. I know you love me, but you're very honest, and at that point, I knew that, and you were just trying to kind of educate me, so I was very open to it, honestly.
I wanted to be in the same sandbox with you.
Right.
And that, our band Nome Sane is kind of like a sandbox. Like when we write songs together, we just get in a room together and just make shit up, and
Yep.
whatever comes out ends up being the song. I kind of get all the ideas in line and arrange them into something, and we all kind of contribute our own voice to it. And I guess I've written a couple of the songs alone, but mostly we just stir things up in the sandbox and throw sand at each other until it comes out good.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And later on in the interview, we're gonna go through the songs as I listen to them.
Cool.
I do have a couple of still more standardized questionnaire sort of things here. Major teachers. Okay,
Richard Rabbiton.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Rabbiton, Steve Kahn, Mick Goodrick, and all my classmates at University of Miami, Andy Timmons, Brian Monroney. Bob has taught me a lot about how to touch the guitar.
So
It's
you're
true,
responsible for that.
Come on now.
Yeah, man, I've learned a lot from you.
What?
He's getting all upset now.
Bob, did anyone ever tell you your voice sounds like Lewis Black?
No, I don't know who is Lewis Black.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I never heard that before.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Major teachers, coaches.
Yeah, I listed mine.
Okay.
Richard Rabbiton was really my. Richard Rabbiton has a studio in Setauket called Stony Brook School of Music. I don't know why you didn't call it Setauket School of Music. And I studied with him for 6 years, from 7th grade to 12th grade, and I learned so much from him that I didn't have to. I placed out of college courses because of him.
Cool. Cool. Bob, major teachers, coaches, other sorts of influences.
I started out as a drummer, and then maybe but I did take guitar lessons. I think I was 7 years old, and that was kind of traumatic. And it probably lasted 2 months.
All right.
Because I wanted to be able to play like the Beatles.
Right.
And I was playing, Jingle Bells out of Alfred's Book 1, and that
Right.
I didn't care for that. And then I didn't study music till college officially, and I had one teacher in class, and I'm trying to remember his name.
You had one.
Tommy Lucas. That was it.
There you go. Okay.
And basically, I'm pretty much self-taught.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Until I met Teddy, and now he's my teacher.
okay. Cool. Matt, major teachers, obviously, other than your dad, because everybody knows who he is.
Right. Well, my dad, at one point, he was teaching Dom Famularo. Dom was like his prize student. I don't know what year this must have been, but I just remember my dad wanted me to. He pushed me off to Dom, so I don't know how old I was, maybe 15 or something like that. I started studying with Dom, and learned completely different approach to drumming. It was very technical, and learning about the discipline of muscle development, and then I started studying with a lot of people. I went to Joe Ascione, who I don't even like to talk about. He passed away. He just an incredible human being.
Right.
I don't know what to say. And I stayed in touch with him until the day he died. I was actually, he had MS and he couldn't play, he couldn't move anymore.
Right.
But I took a couple lessons with him, where I would play and I'd ask him questions, and they were very meaningful lessons. I'll never forget it. But I studied with Robbie Amin in New York. I learned my Latin, stuff from him. Kim Plainfield. My goodness. At one point I was getting a lot of pain in my hand because I just sort of learned by mimicking. And I was very close, and still am very close friends with Frank Bellucci, who's very, really on top of his technique. And I went to him, and he basically showed me why he thought I was experiencing pain. And I fixed that thanks to him. So I always give him credit for that. I always appreciate that.
He's a good dude. He really is.
Oh, man, yeah. And, whatever. I went to, I learned in North Texas State University. I had some good teachers there. So those, I don't, I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anybody, but those were the major teachers. Who else? My Uncle Joe. I studied mallets with him, vibraphone and timpani. And Rich Rabbiton. I went to Rich Rabbiton, Teddy's teacher, to learn a little bit of theory. I didn't stick with that long enough, unfortunately, but what a great teacher. Teddy's absolutely right. He had a gift for teaching, and he loved it, and he was totally organized and
Yeah,
really,
Matt,
really-
is that a banana in your hand, or are you just happy to see me?
yeah. You have a banana too.
It's amazing. How do we both have bananas?
I don't know.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
It's very important. You got to squeeze bananas.
Yes, you do.
You got to squeeze bananas. Your left hand and then your right hand.
Right. Ambidextrous banana squeezing. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
That's the name of the next album, right? Ambidextrous banana squeezings.
Yeah. How'd you know?
I don't know, man. That's a little out there.
Know what I'm saying?
It's a little too much of an inside joke. What's Bob doing? Bob's
I don't
got
know.
something
He's
going.
looking at some.
He's
Maybe
trying
he has
to-
a banana down there.
He's trying to come up with a trick. Oh, I see. Can you mute him? What happened to your teeth, Bob?
I put peanut butter on.
That sounded
Wow.
like how Mr. Ed to talk, wasn't it?
By putting false teeth in there?
Yeah, by putting peanut butter on his teeth. And,
Oh, that's a good trick. I should do that to Bob. How about you, Andrew? You studied with Al Miller for a long time?
yes,
And,
I did for about 16, 17 years. I also
Wow.
studied with John Van Gasteren. I did some lessons with Dom. And then there were a few ancillaries. I did some lessons with Richie Rodriguez for my Latin stuff. Yeah. So those would say were all of the majors, because I have long standing with Mr. Miller, as I always called him. Never Al. I never understood that. And when a guy's like 70 years old and you're in your 20s, I don't think you call him Al. It doesn't matter if you're a good friend with him or you're not. It's Mr. Miller. I was just, weaned that way, let's say. So, all right. Well, let's see. Let's go into more of the band-related things here. Maybe you can, in the case that we get cut off because Zoom usually has this funky thing, just jump right back on and we'll get back on it, and I'll just edit it later.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, the new album. The name of the album.
Time will shine.
Yes. Very nice. Okay. I don't know which is better. I should tell.
Time Will Shine is sort of like a uplifting message that we came up with in the middle of the pandemic, because we were thinking like, okay, this is eventually going to go away, so time will
Yeah, we're still waiting on that.
shine a light on us. But really where it came from is Bob has this private joke with his friend where he would always say Tom will shine at the end of something, kind of making fun of this guy named Tom that they knew. And he said this in his vocal lyrics, but because of his accent, he's got this crazy Bayside accent, and it sounded like time to me, because he's doing this. Well, you were doing your Tony Williams imitation, right? Basically.
No, that's kind of a different guy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Tell
Tony's
us where that came from.
Yeah, Tony is this voice. You know what I'm saying? Now listen, fellas. You may have your hair, but I'm losing mine. That's Tony,
Tony Williams is the boss of the Platters, or was.
the lead singer. Yeah, I toured with them for 10 years. the Platters.
So what voice was that? that you were-
I know of it. Tony Williams. It's a perfectly different person. He was
Yeah.
Right, the drummer.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
We
we're
know.
talking about the more famous Tony Williams.
Ah, gotcha.
The Platters. Yeah, I think that's kind of my own version of all of these characters mixed together, probably.
Right. Anyway, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
it was a misunderstanding, the title,
Yes. That's
Right.
but
Some
it
of
turned
the
out
best
okay.
ones.
Matt seemed to like it, so we changed it to that.
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
Tell Tom It's Time to Shine is the original lyric from way back. And yeah, that was the inside joke, because we destroyed this guy's song. He did some fine ballads, and we would go into the studio in the middle of the night, and I would just find weird ballads, and we would write nonsense lyrics, and my friend Jack would go out and sing it. I'd mix it, and then we'd erase the track and put the reel back in the
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And I have a collection of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go down the track list here. The first where I already knew there was some Zappa influence was the right out of the box with Mask. You could hear it immediately. Great song. Then we had Porridge Strange.
Porridge storage.
Storage. It says it right here. My eyes are dilated, gentlemen. It just came from the.
No
Okay. I had mine done last week, and it's horrible.
Yes.
But we're gonna change it to Porridge Strange, though.
Thank you.
That's a better name, actually.
Yeah, Porridge Storage. I like that.
We gotta hire Andrew to make our names up.
Says it right here. Porridge Storage.
Yeah.
That's funky, like a 5/4 number. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's great stuff.
I think for our drummer friends in the audience, it goes between 5/4 and 3/4.
It does. Yeah,
Is that right, Matt?
But the main body of it is 5/4.
Starts out in the 5/4.
Right.
5/4.
Who's down?
And I think when we came up with that, like, I think we just started playing that, and it wasn't like I had no idea what time signature it was in. I just started going
Well, the drummers are usually ones responsible for that. That's how we influence.
Right. I don't know how that came about, but I like it.
I blame that.
It was
I blame
natural. It was natural.
That's right.
that. Cool.
I write odd times like John Lennon. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it comes out to be something interesting, I guess.
Okay.
All right.
Miss Dancing. It's right, kind of a laid back, almost like Jeff Beckish kind of sort of deal. And I heard some guitar sounds in there that made me think of. I think we have John Riley in common, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was actually in two of Randy Coven's bands. One was the Randy Coven Band, and then they changed the name to CPR.
That's my good buddy, John O'Reilly. I've done years. I know John since I'm 12 years old.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, good guy. A great
Yeah.
drummer.
Yeah. Yes, he
Great
is.
drummer, great look.
Yeah.
Stumpy Joe. Yeah, when Bob says, I'd known him for years.
Yes.
You got to notice this. He
Yes.
really means it.
Yeah.
Some people, they say, I've known him for years. And then you go, how long you known him? And they go,
For
like a
years.
year and a half. Bob means it.
We're talking years. Years.
Funny.
Yeah.
Fudge.
Fudgy.
Fudgy. Damn it, Andy.
It's essentially in 6/8. Yes.
How's it go?
Fudge.
It goes like this.
Ah.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Sorry, Andrew.
Great.
You stepped right into that one, man.
Now I'm gonna owe you guys royalties. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. And then there's the one that can be polarizing.
Let's see if you can pronounce this.
Pimento. Is it pimento ano or pimento año? It has two different meanings.
Pepper.
What do you mean? It means pepper of the year, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be, depending upon whether or not you have that little swirly thing. I took French in school, not Spanish, but I know the swirly little thing goes "nya." Therefore, it could mean anus.
What?
No.
Yes.
That's
It
no,
could.
no. Wait, let's get Google Translate out. Matt, can you Google Translate that?
Pepper of the year.
Pepper of the year is what we wanted to call it because we had this hot pepper that was really, really good, and it was like the best one of the whole year.
Well, maybe maybe it's the year of the anus.
Whoa.
Man, I don't know. I mean, it could be a gringo typo. You're right.
See?
Gringo
See.
typo. I like that expression. Gringo
That's the follow-up song.
Yeah.
Pepper ass. Let's
Wow.
just name it Pepper
Hot
ass.
pepper anus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it means.
Yes.
I think
I
it's
think-
very that.
I
Well,
thought,
pepper and anus kind of go together.
yeah.
Depending on how what type of pepper you're talking about.
Now, Bob really named the song, and he told me that ano, A-N-O, means year. Did he mess that up? Is it the other way around, where anyo with the enya thing is year?
Yeah, I think
Maybe he went to say, this is not your rap song.
it could be,
No.
because I'm a rapper.
Bob, you messed it up, man.
No way. I know what I'm talking about with that stuff.
I'm going to Google it right now. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
All right.
You think-
So, Santa.
Yes.
That's basically just a little riffing a la Bob, apparently.
That's right.
All right. Okay.
Can we just come back to the thing here? Bob, you messed it up. Ano without the enya is anus, and anyo is year.
Oh, so I guess you.
Dude, we printed
you
all our
Google it?
CDs already. Damn it!
Yeah, you have to be careful when you Google anything, what you come up with.
Now we have a song called Hot Pepper Anus. What the hell, man?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. God.
I'm sorry.
Thanks
I
for
think,
pointing that
I
out.
think it's
Andrew.
perfect. I think it's perfect.
You like Hot Pepper Anus better than the Year of the Hot Pepper?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll go with it.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Sorry.
One
Yes,
might-
you say sorry now after we spent thousands of dollars printing 20,000 CDs.
Yes. One might say it's.
I'll pay you back. Don't worry.
One might say it's cringesome. See that
Oh,
little?
Wow,
see
you
what I
pronounced
did
it
there?
correctly.
Nice
See what I did
transition.
there?
Did you
Okay.
like the song Santa, Andrew?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Did you consider that a song?
Oh, it's,
If it's
no.
if it's in there, sure. There's a Janet Jackson album that's 24 tracks long. There's 12 songs. It's all that kind of stuff in between, but nowhere near
Oh.
as funny. Yes.
Right, well, you know.
This was meant to be funny, the Santa thing. That's pretty
Oh.
what goes
That's-
on.
Yeah, that's just an excerpt from one of our rehearsals where we were just talking about Bob's bass sound.
Yeah. We were trying to inject some sort of protein into the sound and trying to figure out how. Because they couldn't hear it, they couldn't smell it.
Right.
We were just trying to get, get
Yes.
some fresh ingredients.
Spell that on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Smell the Anyo.
Yeah.
Right, smell the
Or is it Ano? Which one is? I'm getting confused now. I don't know which one. Pepper, anus, pepper. Which one is Ano? Which one is Ano? I took French, gentlemen. French.
Yeah, I
It's-
like the yelling. The yelling in
it's-
it. Any interview that has yelling is better.
Yes, it's year of the anus, maybe. Maybe it's.
I think
don't
you
know.
secretly
We've
did that,
established
Bob.
that. Yes.
Yes,
Year.
it is.
Yeah,
You guys are on a budget. You didn't have room for the little.
That'd be
No,
like
right.
Ano de Año.
yeah. That works.
Jeez,
Yes.
I'm never naming something in Spanish again.
Oh,
Thanks
come
a
on.
lot, Bob.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, doozy.
Let's talk about Doozy.
Let's
Let's
talk
talk about Doozy.
Yeah.
What do you want to know?
I don't know, but you did mention talking. This is a podcast, so make with the.
Well, I could start.
Please
Teddy,
do.
Teddy was like, "Hey, let's do something, rhythmically strange." So
And you
I don't
did.
know. I don't know if it was your idea, Teddy, or mine. I think it was your idea. What we did is we displaced the backbeat on 2 and 4. We displaced it, late. So B2 and 4 is either a 16th note or a 32nd note late.
Wow.
Sounds all right to me. I don't know.
Let's listen to it. Do you have it there, Teddy?
Who has it?
Yeah, I have it. I was going to play just the drum part. So
I'd
you
have
don't
to get
pay
Bandcamp
royalties.
up, but
You don't have to pay royalties if I just play the drum part, right?
oh no, we usually get screwed there. Go ahead.
Really? So what
Yeah.
happens? They make you take it out?
No, it's. I
What if
think
we-
drum parts in and of themselves are something that's not copyrightable.
Okay.
Right. And, if you say a bad word, then they won't put ads on your podcast. Did you know that?
We already did that, though.
Yeah,
We
we
did?
said. Yeah,
What did we say?
We said bad words.
Anus is a bad word?
No, that's
Anus is a
that's-
medical thing.
That's that's
the biological.
yeah, right,
Part.
right. Anatomically correct phrasing.
Okay, so
Right. So
there you go.
don't.
We're
Yeah.
safe.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, Doozy. Anyway, Doozy, I think the way that came up was Matt and I have been doing this displacement thing for years and years and years as a joke. Like, we'd be playing a totally normal gig, and Matt would start making me laugh by going like, doon, doon, ga, doon, da, 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 doon, da. And he put the last, whatever normal thing would be, da, 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 doon, doon, and he put that last one on like, he just displaced it by a spasticated kind of rhythm. It wasn't an exact kind of thing at all, and neither is Doozy, the song. So my idea was to take our joke and make a song out of it. So it starts like this with me playing the guitar.
That's a guitar. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Anyway, you can listen to it
Cool.
on the Bandcamps. And if you want to hear just the
Nice.
drums, we can do that too. That's fun.
Yes, do that.
Is that too loud?
No.
I like it loud.
I don't know how you made that feel good, Matt, but that's what you do. You just
Feels
make
really
that-
good.
Yes,
doesn't
it
Make
does.
everything feel
Yeah.
good. And then here's my shaker part.
Yeah.
I heard it.
It really helps the whole overall vibe.
It's like the least accurate shaker ever played by humans.
Is that the guitar through the drum mics? Is that what we're hearing?
It is, yeah, we played it live, so.
Wow.
Most of the songs on there are live, Andrew.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes it sound more cohesive, especially when you're doing something like this. To play something that's
Rhythmically spasticated.
yes. It's almost impossible to do that all chopped up. You lose.
Oh, no,
any
we could
kinda-
do that. We could. we're
Yeah, but
professionals.
you lose feel though. You know,
Yeah.
you lose that. You don't. You sound like a bunch of musicians. You don't sound like a band.
Right,
know what I
but
mean?
your favorite song on the album, Mask, is done remotely.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sorry to blow your theory there, pal.
Is that even remotely my favorite song? I'm not sure.
But
Oh, yeah, maybe it's not. That was good. I just wanted to talk about our gig situation in the middle of all this.
Yes, of course. Yes, I had
Because,
COVID questions, but go ahead.
Oh, you do? Okay, let's go back to let's do your format.
Okay. Well, my format is what's your gig situation?
Well, I just want to say that, in the beginning of the pandemic, all our work went away, of course, like everybody else. And then come around May, we started not getting calls for gigs again. So it was cool because we started to not do more gigs, than everybody else.
Cool.
Like other people started doing gigs and we did less gigs than not doing gigs.
Nice. Which
Zero.
is, that's everyone's goal.
We worked really hard at it.
We did negative amount of gigs.
Wow.
I think we did about
You had to give music back. You had to play it backwards.
We had to do negative. I think we did about negative 100 gigs in 2020.
Jeez.
So now we owe the world 100 gigs.
See? Yeah, that works. That's right.
Musical black hole of sorts.
And after we do those 100 gigs, we'll be at 0 again.
Right.
So then we can start counting all the gigs we've done. And
Nice.
nobody was doing that at the time, I gotta
Right.
tell you. Nobody was doing that. We were the only ones not doing... We were the only ones doing less gigs than everybody else.
So you can call each one the red album until you break even. Then it will then become the black album, like everyone has.
Okay.
No, we do the green album, I think.
Green?
Yellow, maybe.
Okay.
Nobody got that.
The Chartreuse album.
Yeah.
That works.
That's the
okay.
genius behind Nome Sane.
Mm.
You see?
What, is that we didn't do any gigs?
That's
Or
right.
We
Right.
did less gigs. We didn't do less... We did less... No, I don't even know how to say that.
You
We
did
didn't-
did you not play?
Yes.
Right.
And no
Well,
one else
yes.
was doing that. We were the original.
Yes.
Not-
Nobody else in the whole Long Island. Let me tell you something.
We created that.
We were the first ones to not do more gigs than other people weren't doing.
Well, if a band falls in the forest,
Right.
We
If the
Right.
band plays 2 and 4 behind the beat in the forest.
yes, then they don't have any electricity, so you're not going to hear shit anyway.
Right.
See, there goes the commercial.
There you go. You'll have to edit that, Andy. You'll have to edit
Yeah, we got. Yeah, right. I'll put the F word in there instead. Okay, so
that. Boom.
Fancy.
Wow.
We have a song called Fancy on the album?
No,
I
Plastic
think we
Smile
do
is
next.
next.
Maybe.
Plastic Smile is the way jazzier one.
Shooba-dooby-yabba-dooba-dooby-yabba-dooba-dooby-yabba-dabba-dow.
Matt,
Yeah.
what are you saying?
Shooby-doo-ya.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I really liked it. Every Time Will Shine. Let's talk about that one. It's obviously the linchpin of the album because
That's
it's
the hit.
named Time Will Shine.
It's named Time Will Shine, and it's our radio single.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the #1 hit off the record.
Yep.
Word.
What's the
So-
most
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. You talk so little on this for me to stop you. Proceed.
Well, just stating that it's probably a #1 hit, most commercial song probably ever in the history of pop songs.
Especially the guitar solo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, you need one. Every pop song got one.
So, what audience, if any, are you guys going for?
Mostly redheads.
Yeah, the ginger crowd really likes us. Yeah. We don't make music for people. We make music for ourselves, and then if people like it, we're happy.
That's my favorite kind.
Yeah. What else can you really do? I mean, we're not signed to a label. We don't have anybody telling us what to do. We're just going to follow our muse and see where it takes us.
That's fantastic. That's my favorite kind of anything.
Mine too.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm glad we agree on something, Andrew.
Yes.
Damn it, Andrew!
He's something. What it?
It's not yelling.
Well, let's see. That's the questions that I did have. Anything you guys want to specifically talk about?
Yeah.
Well, then tell me.
I mean, we had a lot of talking points written down, and then I lost the paper.
Yeah, I lost mine too. It's on the screen over here, and then of course I have what I took notes of with your album. But
Yeah. I mean, mainly this is traditionally, over the past one episode of the show that you've had, it's a drummer podcast, right?
Yes, I've only had one other band situation on the podcast, and it was because a drummer friend of mine was managing a band. And
Oh, I only saw one other episode with Bellucci. Is there more?
Oh no. There's tons. Yeah,
Oh.
but this is the only other time. This is my I guess my sophomore effort in doing things Zoom. Everything before had been on a CD-ROM disc, and then I put them all up with pictures because that's the only way to do it on YouTube. If it was audio only. But yeah,
Oh, I see. So
yeah.
you did it audio only for a long time, and then this is
Yes,
the second video
yeah, and
one
then,
you did.
and then Frank was the
Oh.
that was the first one with the Zoom, and that's just COVID,
Right.
so
So I just want to, I guess what I would like to say is to all the drummers out there, man, you guys should study what Matt does on the drums, because he looks really excited right now, first of all. And second of all, what Matt does is he's very, very technically adept.
yes, he is.
He's got all the chops you would ever need for any drummer. And the thing I love about him is that he feels it out. He doesn't go at a song by going, how can I shove this technique that I learned into it? He goes at it like completely emotionally and about feelings and about concept, which is so appreciated by by me, the leader of the band. I like it. I like that because I think it just brings something to the music that, especially when you're playing instrumental music, sometimes drummers, all the other drummers, they get involved in all the technical crap. They try to shove it in there like it's, square peg in a round hole. I'm like, what are you doing with 7/8 over my song? I don't want that. You know what I mean? Matt doesn't do that. Maybe you could tell us about your approach to the music, Matt, and why it comes out like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I could try. I mean, first of all, if I love the music, it's easy for me to not think. Yeah, I think it's about not thinking. I used to.
Is it about not thinking, or is it about feeling?
Well, it's about feeling. I think when I was younger, I would do a lot of thinking, and I think as I've gotten older, I've become much better at putting that behind and trying to, think texturally. Like use the word concept. I think that's a great word. If you don't have a concept, and let's say you really don't have a concept, but you have a lot of technique, you're gonna start thinking about notes. But that never works for a song. It just, unless it's a drummer song, unless it's something that's showcased for a drummer. You're trying to bring the music up. You got to think about, you got to put yourself last in a sense. Like you have to trust that you're going to play in time, and you're going to, it's going to fit, but you can't be thinking about yourself. You got to be thinking about the melody or the harmony or the lyrics, if that's the case. You put that first, I think you're going to sound good. I mean, I don't know what to say, but I think that's the main thing. If you're trying to serve the music and get yourself out of its way, it's going to work,
yeah, I agree. Well, I do believe there's all kinds of colors in the crayon box. I think as you get to be older as a drummer, when you're younger, you just want everybody to know how great you are. And as you get older, if no one already ever figured that out, now you just want to make a living, right?
Right.
But beyond that, you start thinking more musically when you're older, because then it's not just taking every tool you have in that toolbox and throwing them out down on the floor. It's playing appropriately, which you mentioned the Beatles, and everybody always gives the thumb in the eye to Ringo for not being a technician or whatever. What would you have played on those albums? You know what I mean? You could not have played anything better than what he played. If you'd played more, maybe you muddy up the song a little bit. if you'd play less, well, then you didn't need a drummer at all. So I think he played, the Goldilocks amount of drumming for those songs.
Yep. Agreed.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
What would you have played on those records, Matt?
Just drums. I just solo. Just
Solo.
solo. As fast as I can.
in 1916 time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Except that one measure. That's in 2116 time.
Can I play a drum part that Matt did that I think is really interesting?
Sure.
In the song "Time Will Shine" on the
Yes.
record, where Bob is ranting along about all kinds of stuff, Matt
It's
Matt really made some interesting choices on the drums.
Oh, no.
I mean, who does that? Nobody. That's who. Matt
I-
freaking Miller.
Which
Yeah.
guy am I? This is like some bizarro world Brady Bunch kind of thing I got going on my screen here. So I'm trying to point at him, but I could be pointing at pretty much anybody.
Is he over there?
No.
Everybody has a different.
If you're on
view.
my screen, yes. I guess. How does this work? I've done enough.
I love what you played on that, Matt, because you're being funny in your mind.
Definitely. It's all humor, yeah.
But to me, I listen to that solo and I'm like, man, that is the most fantastic, like, changing between all these things and like
Yeah.
sticking all the. It's got humor, but it has this really deep emotional feel to it.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's
Yeah.
great.
I'm just here to blow smoke up Matt's ass because he deserves it.
Yep.
He is a tremendous player. I've known it since I met him.
Same here.
I mean, he was all of about. I think he's around 2 years older than me, something like that.
He's gonna be huge. Like when he gets good, like in a couple of years, he's
Yeah.
gonna be the guy.
Yeah. Maybe even next year.
Also, when I play that drum part for the real session guy that's gonna come in and do it, he's gonna know exactly what to do from that.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Well,
How's it
fellas, I think that's about what I had to say, and I hope you guys had a good time.
Definitely.
Totally, man. Thank you
sure.
so much
Can
for
you-
having us on.
Can you tell everybody where they can catch you, where they can catch your music, get your
We have a-
paraphernalia?
We have a Facebook page, Nome Sane, NOMESANE ? We have a website, which is a part of my overall website, which is teddycumple.com/Nome Sane, with no question mark, because you can't use those in URLs.
No.
And
Can you just
Bandcamp,
put the word question mark at the end?
you could.
But you didn't.
I didn't do that. Should I? Maybe I
No,
should do that.
Not now. Now nobody's been able to find you now that I opened my mouth. Never mind. Proceed.
Clearly, I need media lessons, Andrew. Maybe you can help me.
So no, what do you think? I'm good at this? No.
And the other place you can find us is on, if you want to hear or buy the record, you can go, it's exclusively on Bandcamp. So it's teddycumple.bandcamp.com/Time Will Shine.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, it was fantastic to speak to all of you. You guys in the audience there need to go check these guys out. It's fantastic stuff.
Thanks,
for having
Andy.
us on, Andrew.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Until the next time, I want to put an open invitation out there to come back. When maybe even in studio in an actual room as
Oh yeah,
opposed
that'd
to-
be fun. Maybe when we
Okay.
get up to our 0 gigs, after we make up the 100 that we didn't do.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, when you're back
Come
in the
on.
black. Back in black. No, that'll get sued too, right? All right, gentlemen. Good to talk to you. I hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Andy.
brother.
Okay, this has been Dee's Practice Pod, and we're out.
Take care.